In the last training, we had a look at the various kinds of interviews and what it demands from you. Now, in continuation, we are going to be looking at the types of job interviewers, the types of recruiting officers that you are going to be meeting, that are going to be interviewing you, and how you can counter each of the challenges these interviewers are going to be presenting to you, because all interviewers have their styles of interviewing and for a particular purpose or reason, and depending on the job in question. Now, the advantage is this: if you know the kind of interviewer that is attending to you, you now know you now understand his personality, what he wants and demands from you, and how to counter each of the challenges or the question that will be presented to you or thrown at you, meaning that you landing that particular opportunity, the chances of it just rose up, because you can now catch the interviewer's intention and impress him the way he wants. Now, we have, for the main types of job interviewers, we have the absentee, the body, the linguistic, the laser beam, the shotgun, the silver bullet, and the multitasker. Now, these are the kind of interviewers you are going to be meeting in future, depending on the job position that you are going for and depending on the particular company. Now, let's start with the absentee. The absentee. Now, as the name suggests, these interviewers appears to be absent during the interview. It just appears to not be there, even though he's physically there with you in the room. It will come across as if he's not actually in the room, even though it is there with you in the room. You will see miles and miles away. It's likely not to be paying attention to what you might be offering during the interview. Two reasons could be responsible for such behavior. It could be that due to the pressure of work or his own personal life and challenges, or it could be that the interviewer was totally unprepared for that particular interview. The truth is that it will be almost impossible for you to make an impression on someone that is absent-minded or totally distracted. So you could make a polite request, ask for a rescheduling of the interview, be very, very polite about it. What many persons don't understand is that interviewers, they are normal human beings, flesh and blood like yourself, so they are not perfect. So when you discover a situation like this, you may ask that if it is okay with him, if it is not proper now for the interview to be, that you are willing to have it rescheduled to another time. Then also, in some instances, the interviewer could actually be pretending not to be there to see your reaction, how you are going to react or counter all the nuances that is being brought to you. It's still the same case, still request, it make polite and humble requests for the rescheduling of the interview. He might not come back to his senses and start the interview proper himself. Now, the next one is the body, the one that wants to be your friend or appears to be your friend. Now, this is the interviewer that appears to be your friend. But know this, the interviewer is never truly your friend. He smiles a lot, shares jokes, and tells you to feel comfortable and relaxed. He may even go as far as discussing politics or football. Yeah, my dear, don't get carried away by such friendly attitude. There's always some motive behind it. This type of interviewer comes in two forms. Those that uses this method to cover their inadequacies in interviewing techniques, they are not good, so they just want to feel important and make it appear as if they are good. They want to win your favor. The ones that are expert at interviewing and really want to make you feel at ease so that you can open up to them. Now, it is this second group of interviewers, the body, that are very, very good in what they do. This second group of interviewer is quite adept at what he does. As they make you relax, you are more likely to open up to them about your core personalities, and enabling them to gather information about you. This method is usually adopted for very sensitive and delicate job positions. Your best approach in dealing with this kind of interviewer would be to act in a friendly manner. Don't be harsh, just act in a friendly manner, while at the same time you maintain a cautious attitude or behavior. Be on your guard. Do not side any part of argument. Maybe they bring up Man U versus Chelsea, who will win. Don't side anyone, because you don't know if he's a Man U fan. He's a Man U fan, and he's saying that, persons are very fanatical about football. That spirit is there, it's very powerful. And he say Man U tonight, maybe the match is that night. Say tonight Man U is going to flog Chelsea. He wants to find out the club you are supporting. Man U is going to flog Chelsea, and actually is a Chelsea fan. Then maybe you are not say, useless Chelsea, useless Blues, Man U will flog them, not knowing that he's a Chelsea fan, and he has put down a lot of money. Maybe he bets that night for that match 1 million naira, and you are now talking to him trash. My dear, it is going to be very, very difficult for you to pass that interview. So never take side. You can never tell which side of the club he belongs to. Now also take, for instance, maybe you are a lady, you walk into an interview room for the body kind of interviewer, and the interviewer happens to be a lady. She welcomes you. Oh my dear, you are looking good, and she just brings up a topic. And what's the topic? Men. She's talking about men, telling you, and now she has already made you feel at home, and you are within you are thinking, you are believing, oh, this is my kind of person. She's like a friend, she's young. And because she's young and she has made you relaxed, she now starts saying, men are wicked, men are heartless. Do you know that my guy, and this interviewer telling you this, somebody that just met you, she's saying, my guy, do you know that my guy, somebody I've been dating for 4 years, just told me this morning that he's no longer interested. Meaning, then because you are already relaxed, you now chip in and say, your own is even good. Men are heartless. You know that this morning, 4 persons just told me that it's over. One politician I'm dating in Abuja just called me, say he's no longer interested. The other one in Kano, the Alhaji, called me, say he's no longer interested. My boyfriend, the one that is not even spending money that I'm even helping, just called me. Can you imagine that? From Port Harcourt, that is no longer interested, that is fed up. Then the other one in Akwa Ibom also called me. That one is an oil magnate that he is getting married, is no longer interested. As I am talking to you now, I'm finished, I'm frustrated. You see what he just said now? You have told the interviewer, because the body friendly interviewer has made you relax. You just opened up about your frustration, and you have told the interviewer, the recruiting personnel, that you are frustrated. There is no company that wants a frustrated individual. Without knowing, you have just lost that opportunity. So never bring up your personal life into an interview. Don't make it too informal, especially with the body kind of interviewer. They are very, very cunning, they are very, very smart, and they will make you to open up. So watch out for this kind of interviewer during interviews. Then we have the linguistic. This type of interviewer is a very tough nut to crack. He is that never smiling type, always looking straight and unfriendly. Like, it's the opposite of the body interviewer. They are extremely straight, the linguistic, and will bombard you with very tough questions. Your best approach in tackling such interviewers will be to maintain your composure. Be positive, maintain a cool attitude. Absolute confidence is necessary throughout the interview. Make sure you maintain confidence, because these ones, they are very, very straight, but they are observing you, monitoring you. The fact that he is being straight does not mean you will not get the job. The interviewer is just doing his job, and these types of interviewers always give the best recommendation. If you are able, that you succeed to impress them, they will recommend you. So we also have the laser beam. This is the kind of interviewer that focuses on just one direction or line of questioning. He will just stick to it. He will just be pointing his attention to one particular area. For instance, he may focus on job sales quota. This format of interview is always usually common with line managers. In tackling this type of question, interviewer always satisfy his judgment, and when you satisfy, you just move ahead. Then ensure that you answer all his questions on his favorite subject. Once you do all that, all things being equal, you should get that particular opportunity. Then we have the shotgun. Now, don't let the name scare you. Maybe you see shotgun, you are imagining the big shotgun that they are. No, nothing related to gun here. Don't let the name scare you. This interviewer doesn't carry a physical shotgun, but guess his name for the reputation of firing questions all everywhere as if he's shooting a gun. Then 1 minute you are discussing sales quota. The next minute you are discussing employer relationship. The challenge here is that the topics of discourse, what you are talking about, they don't seem to be connected at all, and you have no idea on how the interviewer is judging you. This is a tricky one. So how do you tackle such an interviewer? It's very simple. This is where careful presentation matters. So you just carefully relate strengths to the many different aspects of the job. As it brings up a question, a challenge, just relate your strengths in that area. So that's how you tackle this kind of interviewer. Then the next one is the multitasker. The multitasker is the type of interviewer that does a lot of things, multitude of tasks while interviewing you. He's answering calls, he's sending faxes and response to email and instant messages, and is chatting during interviews. This could easily sidetrack. This easily sidetrack interviewer may even engage in small talks with a colleague who happens to step into the office during the course of the interview. Though it is not proper, interviewers often have to respond to pressing matters in inopportune times. The best course of action is to bear an interaction or two. Then when this continues, however, if the intrusion does continue to take over the interview, just offer to reschedule. Do you understand? Offer to reschedule the meeting for a more convenient time. This way, you show that you have self-confidence, and you should know that the way you are treated during an interview goes a long way to determine how you are going to be treated upon being employed. Usually a job interview gives you an excellent opportunity. I'm talking to you now. It gives you an excellent opportunity to observe what it will be like to work with an employer. Always look out for warning signals. Even though you need the job, you desire the job, you should always look out for warning signals that indicate that the environment where you are going to be working is not comfortable, that is an unhealthy environment. But at the same time, remember that everyone has his bad day, and including your interviewer, who is just flesh and blood like yourself. So no matter the type of interviewer you might face, maintain a positive and confident behavior. Let them know that you are confident. Confidence matters a lot in interviews. So if you still feel that the job will be right for you after meeting with the multitasker, be sure to write up a follow letter for any of the interviews. Whatsoever, be sure to write up a follow-up letter for any of the interviewer, no matter the kind of interview, or a thank you note to express your gratitude and interest. Now, if you are like 3 persons that got qualified to take the position, and the interviewer, they don't really know the person to take, if you happen to be the one that writes a follow-up letter to thank them, to appreciate them, or send a thank you message, they will pick you instead of the other two. It is not wrong. There is nothing wrong there asking the interviewers for their phone number. If they ask you why, just tell them that you want to send an appreciation, you want to thank them for everything, they will give you their phone number. Do you understand? So don't be scared. Always maintain that confidence. So with that, we'll come to the end of this particular class. Now when we come back, we are going to be looking at how you conduct yourself before entering the interview room, even before going to the interview, right from your house. It is the day of the interview, how you conduct yourself, how you behave, to make sure that you ace the interview, to make sure that you smash it. So thank you and have a nice day.